so fast. Try to get
Morning, everybody. Monday morning, and every time we come out, there's this one, at least one of the babies is out walking around. There's this one always walking around. Good morning, honey. Good morning, honey. Yeah, why's your baby walking around? Why's your baby walking around? Trying to get milk? Hey, that done got big overnight. See, they're trying to get away from him, like, what you doing? So, it was pretty wet yesterday, so we didn't get to mate her, so we'll do it today. Hi, baby. How you doing? How you doing? It was raining, so the water was getting into his cage. We had to even put up our tarp yesterday. I think y'all got to see how the pulled pork turned out. It was actually pretty yummy. We should have some leftovers for today. So, just getting everything checked on. The kids did a decent job this morning of getting out here and getting everything, everyone fed and watered and hayed, as we call it. Good morning. You jump pretty high. You got a lot of energy. Yeah, you got a lot of energy. Um, so we will get out here. Let's see what we got to get done. So we started. I'll also walk you guys over here. We started um, building the hutch. You guys got to see some of that. Gotta get everything dried out. But we started building yesterday, and this is what we got so far. Is the levels. So right here is 18 inches from here to here, then another 18 inches from here to here, and then we'll put this about 6 feet here, and then the roof line will go down that way, and we'll be able to capture some of the sun rays for solar for the fans and the lights that we're gonna put out there. Actually, here's a tape measure. Let me measure it. Let me measure it. I left my tape measure out. So, and it rained literally most of the day. So yeah, from the bottom, it's about 21, 22 inches to the top of the wood. And then sorry, I always forget that you guys are in my hand. 22 inches from the top of the wood, and then the cage will sit about here, as you can see, to the top of that wood. That's another about 19 and a half. The cages are 18. And then from the top of this wood, again, the cages are not sitting on top of this wood. This is actually just here so it doesn't fall down like it was doing on us yesterday. But from there to there is 18. So the cages will actually sit in here and screw to the side of those boards. So it'll only have about an inch to the top, and then there's going to be another 6 inches or so. Let's measure that. Another 6 inches, I believe. So this is about an inch and a half over 5 feet, and then it's gonna go 6 feet high. Now it might even go 6.5. As I was looking at my drawings this morning, so I might go 6.5, and so that'll give it about a good, what's that? A good 18. So almost 1.5 feet above the top of this wood there, about 1.5 feet above it, will start the roof line down. So it should curve down pretty well. Uh, we did harvest some of our we did harvest some of our, it rained even more last night. So we did harvest some of our lettuce from yesterday and was able to give some to our neighbors. So you can see where we cut, but in the middle, those are still growing strong. They've gotten a lot bigger since yesterday. A lot of our arugula and spinach and things are still growing out. This is collard greens, so that's starting to come out here. That wasn't out here last night. So yeah, some of our collards are starting to really grow out. We got some more collards right here. So we're gonna have some collard greens pretty soon. Uh, the turnips are starting to stand up. Turnips are starting to stand up. So I'm actually pretty happy, and our system is actually clearing out too by itself, which is beautiful. A lot of the algae is going away without us having to do too much or anything. We moved a lot of our plants from the bottom of our from the bottom of our patio to over here, so they're having room to grow. They're getting some light, so I feel a lot of these will start to thrive even more being over here, because they were starting to die. So we can get if we can get these to thrive and get them in the hydroponics probably today or tomorrow. um, just letting them sit here so we can see which ones are actually gonna work out for us and get them into the nutrition. But yeah, we got some kale over here that's growing. So a lot of this stuff will grow organically just sitting in the sun. So we're gonna see how that goes, and then we'll get it added to the bottom here. Uh, some of that will get added to the bottom, and then some of it will get added to the raised beds. I do have one job to do today, very quick. I was supposed to have a pretty big project this morning. I got moved. I guess we'll sit and talk about that, about the Sabbath and why we do what we do, and how it can affect your life sometimes, and people don't understand why you're doing what you do. So yeah, I'm just gonna come back and get this baby Kit back in his cage. All their eyes are open. So yeah, all their eyes are open for the most part. They're getting big as heck. So they're jumping around in there. Today they are 15 days old. So at 15 days, this is what they look like. Running around, jumping around out the cage. One's in there knocked out sleep. And mommy's. Look at that. Look at that. Mommy's trying to be protective. So, but yeah, they're in there jumping around. We should be in about a week or so able to start sexing them and seeing how many boys we have and how many girls we have. I guess that's something else I can add to my I don't know how this one keeps getting out, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's out of there. I kind of wanted to leave him out. Look at that one. His eyes is wide open. So yeah, they took a little bit longer to open their eyes, and his eyes is wide open. It took a little bit for them to open their eyes, but once they're open, they're open. Hey, you guys are gonna come out too? You guys are gonna come out too? So they're starting to explore now that they can see. You can see that they're trying to explore around and see what's going on. So let's get in here and talk about the Sabbath and how we do it and why we do it and all that good stuff. Let's see if we can. Hey, mama. I can't reach your baby. I can't reach your baby. I need to get her. I can't reach your baby. See, I don't want him to be out and she goes to feed and he doesn't get fed. I'm actually leave him out for a minute. He can't get out, so I'll actually leave him out. Look like another one wants to jump out. Alright. So yeah, they got about 4 more weeks to go. Reagan, do me a favor. Wash your hands and then come put this baby back in the nesting box.
Where is he?
He's outside of the nesting box. Alright, so we'll do that once Reagan can wash them. All right, so let's get into it. So, in reading our Bible, and some of you might not agree, and some of you will understand, but in reading our Bible, we have come to the conclusion. I like the jacket my wife got me. I'm just now seeing it on camera. We have come to the conclusion that we're still supposed to be observing the Sabbath. There's nowhere where it said we don't have to observe the Sabbath, and there's a lot of things in the Bible that pastors have just pastors have decided to take out, or omit, or just not. I don't know. And I have a theory of why, especially when it comes to the Sabbath, of why they don't enforce it, or say that we have to observe it, or or even really teach on it. Or even really teach on it. And that's because Saturday is another big day for the local church. If you really think about it, most events, most anniversaries, most things for the black church anyway is done on a Saturday. I'm actually a musician. I'm a drummer, and a composer, and I do a lot with music. I do sound mixing. I've been doing it for a while. A lot of you guys that follow my other channels know who I'm related to, and stuff of that nature. So it kind of came with the territory since I was very young, early, like mid-teens, 14, 15 years old, doing tours and things like that. So I've done sound, I've done recordings and all these things, but being in the church has been always one of those things where most events are on Saturdays. So what is the Sabbath? It's a day of rest. God did what he did in his creation of all things, and on the seventh day he rests. Even as yesterday was Resurrection Sunday, Jesus in the tomb rest on the Sabbath and rose up early Sunday. So that's just what we do. We get home by sunset on Friday, and we are in the house and we prepare everything so that we don't have to do too much of anything on Saturday, and we just rest. We enjoy each other. We thank God for everything that he did throughout the week, all the blessings that we had. We sit and we talk with each other, and talk about each other's week and what everybody had going on, even issues that we might be having in the household. We get to hash those out, or even just kind of bring them to the table. We sit and we play board games, we watch movies, we worship. That's our actual day of worshiping, and study, not Bible study. We try to do Bible study during the week, but actual me giving the message, giving a lesson, is done on Saturday. So we don't really do anything on Saturday, and then Sunday we're back at it. It's the first day of the week. So I had a job that was supposed to have been for today. and it was going to be like it's a 10-hour job. Pays very well. It'll actually help us catch up on bills and things of that nature and get some things done to the work van. So yeah, I was supposed to be for today. They sent me a message on Friday saying, hey, you know, all of the registers and things are, you know, I'm in IT, so all the registers and stuff didn't make it. So they want to move this to the following Friday. I sent them a message, you know, letting them know my situation. I really don't do anything on Fridays, and I definitely don't want to get caught out after sunset on Fridays. So this job would start at 8 and it would probably go to about 6 p.m. But how far it is for me to get back home wouldn't get me back home to almost 7:30, 8 o'clock. And that's kind of one of those things where it's like, do I be disobedient to what God has told me that we're supposed to be doing, or do I follow the money? Do I be disobedient and do what God has told me when it comes to I'm not supposed to drum anymore? Or do I go get a check on a Saturday? You know, that's like a double whammy. People call me and ask me for help on Saturdays. I'm sorry, I don't work. You know, I don't work on Saturdays. I work Fridays until the evening. I try to get done on Fridays by like 1, 2 at the late. Because I live where we live is not in Phoenix, is not in Tucson. It's in the middle. So most of my jobs are going to be in those areas. And those are like about an hour. Some of the places in Tucson are about an hour and a half for me. Depends on the drive time. And some of the places in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, North Phoenix, those are going to be an hour and a half away from me as well. And a lot of my work is in these areas. So yeah, I have to be obedient to what God is telling me, even though I might lose out on 4 figures of money for 1 day of work. So it's a sacrifice, and I have to be obedient. And I think that's where it becomes a test. And that's when people ask me, well, why don't you guys just move to your land? It's kind of like the Israelites. Why did a short journey turn into a 40-year journey? Like, they were supposed to be there, I think this said like 10 days at the most, and it turned into a 40-year journey. That's crazy. But if you're not prepared for that land, what would be the purpose of you being there? So it's the same. God said, you know, he's going to give us this land. We're going to move to this land. And we don't know nothing about how to raise our own fruits and vegetables. We don't know how to raise our own livestock. We don't know nothing about living off solar. We don't know nothing about septic tanks and building septic tanks and all the requirements, compost toilets. All these things are things that he's allowing us these 2 years to learn about, cultivate, save our money up, so that way when we get there, it's not, okay, how do we do this? What do we do? No, we'll have the money saved up, the land will be paid off, and all these things. He hasn't even showed me yet, but I've met enough people to know that, you know, it's probably going to be an owner finance type of situation where we pay hardly, if any, interest on it, and it's just pay it off over time. You know, could give them a down payment, few $100 to $1,000 a month, and that money will come from God. I'm not going to be on here, hey, go ahead and give it to this GoFundMe so we can buy land. No, this is God's promised land. So we're not asking subscribers to pay for our land, and you know, we have our links, and you know, if you guys donate or send us gifts or send the kids gifts, we're grateful for it, but we're not asking you to pay for our land. We're not asking you to pay for our build or anything. God's going to provide for that. Like, you know, even with these business, the IT thing that I'm doing right now, I won't be doing in 2 years. He has given me already the businesses and things that we're going to be doing. And even learning about, you know, our rabbitry. Like, we got 7 kits out there. These kits are sellable. we're going to use them for meat. So that's a bill that we won't have. Some money that income that we will make from selling people pets or breeders, and the one that we're keeping. So we're keeping one, we're selling. So let's just do it like this. We keep one, sell 3, eat 3, and we sell 3, say $75 a piece. That's $225 just in that one litter. Coco has a litter coming in a few days, or today's the 1st. So yeah, in about a week we'll have more kids in this process, and then we're going to be mating honey again today. So in 30 days we'll have more, in 45 days we'll have more. And so yeah, this is, so even in that, and then the way that the hydroponics is growing like crazy, we could put 2 or 3 more of those things out there, and not only have enough. Like yesterday we harvested not only enough for our family to have 2 nights of salads, but we're able to give our neighbors maybe 2. They have less kids than us, so they might have salad for a week. That's something that we could have sold. Like I said, we're here to not only eat for ourselves, but sell and also be able to give away. So we're just being obedient to what God tells us to do. And if he tells us to surrender to him for one day, 1.5 days, just rest and abide in him and give him his worship. It's like the 10% thing. Just give the 10%, Tied in with the church is a whole different subject of something else. Give to the church 10%. So that they can feed the needy, take care of the widows. That's what it's for. It's not for your pastor to take vacations, and I'm not even taking any type of salary, because God's going to bless us with other stuff, that the money that comes in for the ministry, Kingdom Disciple Makers, literally is going to help make disciples, help feed the homeless, help the needy. That's exactly what it's for. So I don't need 50, 60 people to give me $100 a week just so I can pay my mortgage. No. It's great, because what's crazy is that with the 2, 3 people that we already have, that's more than enough than what we need. Why would we need more? Why? Oh, we got to get more people. And then you start to, I don't want to get into that, but it's Rbking signing out, saying give glory to God in all that you do, and listen to him. Listen to him, listen for him. He'll guide and direct your path. All right. Rbking saying have a blessed one. Peace.